The following program is sponsored by John Chachis Insurance, your local farmers insurance agent located at 800 Avenue G in Ely, and brought to you as a public service by KGTV, Channel 10 in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board meeting, December 19th, 2019.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I guess I better sit in on a couple meetings.
She worked with the parents or?
On HR.
I'm glad to have this one. There's nothing to recommendations to make. Now it's way back in the Ohio.
Yeah. Well, and now that we have
She's even
one.
contracted with you guys probably.
Hi, could you sign in for me, please?
What's that?
When did we turn our contract with the county?
It's been, well, it started July 1st.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Mhm.
It's very good. So is Marietta calling in, do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Would you think?
I know I texted it to you a while back, but I don't know if you need it again.
I'll find it, yeah, that's fine, I'll call back on that right now.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna call in on it, and if you're not on there after a while, I'll send you a picture of the phone number.
Perfect.
All right,
Okay.
cool. Thanks.
I should have figured that out, sorry. How's everybody?
Good, how's the wrist coming along?
Oh, it's just peachy. I go to Salt Lake tomorrow to see whether they have to do surgery or not.
Oh, Mackenzie was saying you were able to avoid surgery.
For a week.
Oh,
So they have to see whether it's starting to heal.
okay.
I can tell you, slings are not made for long arms.
Welcome. This service is provided by
I can.
freeconferencecall.com. If you are the host, press star. Please enter your PIN. Thank you. There is one host and one participant in this conference.
Up there, so.
Please announce yourself. Hello,
Hey, Marietta.
I'm here.
And so it's funny. We had Brian on the speaker, but he called into the regular phone line, and we thought he was on the conference one. That's why we had the mistake. So Brian will be calling in a second here and joining us and going ahead and leading the thing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is the call every time, right?
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hey,
Hi, Brian.
so just, hi, how are you, Brian?
Very good, thank you. I hope you're well.
All right. Well, the gang's all here. So, Brian, whenever you're ready.
Let's start the meeting, and I'd like everybody to follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag,
To the flag
of the United States,
the United States of
States
America,
of America,
and
and to the republic
to which it
and one nation, under God,
under God,
indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
All right, let's start with public comment.
George, do you mind going real close so they can hear you to the
Not a
conference?
problem. Brian, can you hear me okay?
I can't hear you, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I've got a concern on Roman numeral 2.6 in regards to approval for possible, possible approval of the proposed shared use agreement with the Chamber of Commerce. I don't have a problem, and neither does the hotel motel industry, in working together. But I want to remind you that the Chamber of Commerce is a private club, period. It doesn't promote those that do not belong to the chamber. So if you want to do something in hand, that's fine. If you want to share in the project, that's fine. But other than that, you need to stay separate.
Yep.
Private club, do not mix the two. On your item, Roman numeral 2.7, possible approval for the Main Street America. It's my assumption, or I thought the Main Street America program was separate. I want to remind you, they need to pay their own way. It has nothing to do with this facility or how the taxes are collected and promoting the community. Main Street America is a different program. They need to stand on their own. I believe this board gave them some money, as well as the city, as well as the county. They need to live within their means.
Yep, we're just talking about me.
Just you?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why you should be there, but,
Well, that's
Maybe
what we're
you
gonna
can fill me in
discuss.
later
That's
on.
what, that's what we're gonna discuss in the meeting.
okay, because, you know, some of these informational signs that were put up, you've heard my concern, there's no, measurement, feet, inches, miles. We just put up signs with arrows, not gonna cut it. We have to be specific. We wanna spend our money and spend it properly the first time. Mr. Chairman, I'm repeating myself here, but the Nevada Northern is continuing to get additional grant money from this board in addition to $240,000 it receives from room tax. They are not operating under the Nevada open meeting law, and the citizen, the taxpayer, cannot see how those monies are spent. Again, they need to be cut off and held accountable. I remind you, Mr. Bassett manages and his wife is the bookkeeper. There must not be any nepotism, but there is. At a recent city council meeting held September 19, 2019, the railroad was seeking to borrow approximately $450,000, and for what we still do not know. They have yet to report what the total debt is. Do any of the board members here know? I'd like to know. Mr. Chairman, the money that was given to the community choir from Pigeon Control needs to come back to this board. NRS forbids you from supporting the private business. They were not a 501c at the time they applied. They misled you. Failure to properly disclose or apply under false pretenses, I believe, is a violation of the law. They do not meet minimum ADA standards for the handicap to that facility. That building is not a public building. A sign posted on the front of the building states, no soliciting, no loitering, no skateboarding, private property. You can't do that. I want that money to come back. Mr. Chairman, I've asked in the past and I'm asking again, with all the money that this board has given to the county golf course, what is the increase in play over the last 3 years? This request is almost 3 years old. I need an answer, please. Mr. Chairman, I've not received any information in regards to Mr. Spear, who was a contractor with the Tourism Rec Board for years. I want to know if he has a state business license, city license, commercial location, or home occupation. He's no different than any other contractor in this community. He was on the city council, he's a member of this board, and he knows what the rules are, or should be. That's all I have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, George.
All right, thank you, George. Is anybody else?
No one appears to be stepping up, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's go on to agenda item number 1, new business. Approval of agenda, including removal of agenda items. Anybody have anything they'd like to say?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda as,
Caroline, could I make a recommendation that since Robert's here to do the audit, could we move him up from number 9 to the next available?
yes. Mr. Chairman, I move that we rearrange the meeting agenda items for number 2, new business, item 9, to be moved to the beginning of the meeting to accommodate our auditor.
Okay,
Move
a
to
second
number
for that?
Right here. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, looks like we're unanimous on that, and let's go ahead to number 2, which is now number 9. Review of approval of audit conducted by Robert Moore, CPA. Mr. Moore?
Hello, Mr. Chairman, I'm here. It's quite nice to be here. I love the redoing of the office, of the meeting room here with the wood and the television. Looks nice. Very good, very good. I'm here to go over the audit. I hope everybody had a chance to review it and has lots of questions, makes it easier. You'll find that the audit is somewhat repetitive each year, the comments, everything. The first thing to note is, my opinion is that the financial statements fairly present the financial position of the organization. And so that's called a clean audit. If you want to go through it, I don't know what your pleasure is, but remember, as board members, try to at least read pages 3 through 9, which is management's discussion and analysis. It's written to try to be in a less formal manner, a way of explaining what you've been doing this last year from a financial standpoint. So it's an overview and hopefully gives everybody a chance to understand what you've been doing. The actual financial statements then start on page 10. Page 10, remember, as we've talked in the past, you keep 2 sets of books, a full accrual set of books and a budget set of books. So the first 2 pages are your full accrual. They show cash and they show your property and equipment. They show all of the liabilities for pension, things like that. And still shows that you have a net position of $2 million. That's all of your assets, all of your cash, all of your equity. So you're a very well-financed organization. Keep that in mind. Page 11 is your full accrual financial statements, or statement of activities. It shows, starts out with expenses, shows what direct revenue you receive. So then you come to what is your, what you have to cover by your taxes. And you see that we come with a change in our net position of $230,000. So we didn't spend everything this last year. So your net position went up. You're, again, showing that you're in good shape. Now, starting on page 12 is your budget base and some reconciliations between the two. So in a situation where you are, your profit was $290,000, or expenses, your revenue over expenses were $290,000. Again, showing that you brought in far more money than you needed this year to operate. But as we look across the street, we know where that money's, a lot of that money's going to go into that parking lot. Then after that is your footnotes. Go through there. It's a lot of explanation. Most of it now is taken up by the pension footnote, which explains how the state pension works and what your liability is. The thing that's probably most important to you is on page 28 is your budget report. This is put in the manner of exactly your budget. Shows that you brought in $1.7 million in revenue, which is about $150,000 more than the prior year, but a large portion of that is the increase in the taxes due to the increase in the city charging 2 cents more. Expenses are in general down. Salaries are down. Benefits may or may not. Your capital outlays down, things like that. So you're $546,000 over what you projected you would be in fund balance. You now have, on a budget basis, you have $1,248,000 of fund balance. You have budgeted approximately $73,000 of that for the next year, so you have good, strong fund balance and should be able to do whatever you need to do to promote White Pine County. So as far as the financial statements, unless somebody has any questions, I'll move on to my comments and okay. The first thing of my comments, there's 3 letters that I give all of you, but on my comments, the first one has to do with the parking lot. We agreed to a contract and then we paid them before they had done any work. And normally in construction contracts, you pay on a percentage of completion, and as they bill you, then you go ahead and do it. Now, I didn't cite this as a problem with your internal control because we have new people here and learn. The thing that you'll have to remember with it is that normally when you do construction contracts of any nature, you have withholding. You have to make sure if it's large enough that you are doing, reviewing their payroll, making sure they're paying the right amount of payroll if they have that, all kinds of things like that. But in this case, we hadn't done anything, it looked like, so we asked you to move it to the next year. The important thing that you have to do, and as part of my recommendation, is make sure you adjust your budget, or you go through and look and see if you get an automatic augmentation for that. in either case, you can cover your expenses this year, it's all there. It's just a matter of, you don't pay expenses